My homosexuals, rejoice. We are back. We are in it to win it. Sorry, I didn't mean to scream at you, but I am so excited. I cannot even explain it. I can't tell you how good of a feeling this is to confidently say the knee is basically recovered. I can't say fully just yet because that would be ego, and I don't want to rush it because my knee is precious to me. It's like my child. I need to keep that little boy safe so that I can lift as heavy as I want to in the future, right? So cool. So anyway, it is the first time in 2 weeks now that I've been able to put actual weight on the bar. I'm deloading this week, so I didn't want to push it unless I felt really good. So since the Olympic lifts and my bench has felt really good and hasn't been limited by my knee, I decided to do a normal program week where I just put the weight down 5%. So like instead of 70% 5x3 today, I did 65%. That's why I did 215 instead of like 225, 230. Felt great, wonderful. I expected that. It was very, very fun, very tiring, as volume always is. But that's what recovery means. You know, you got to put in the work, put in the volume, so that your body can put back on the. It kind of feels like I'm building up my knees like a boiled egg in a microwave. You know what I mean? Like it's just wait, or a marshmallow. If you've ever microwaved a marshmallow, it's just like constantly expanding until it just explodes to get that PR one day. I feel like I'm just constantly building up that good pressure, by the way, not the kind of pressure where I'm like, oh, my knee feels like it's gonna explode and die. No, we are keeping this boy healthy and loved. I'm soothing the hell out of my knee, and don't get me wrong, when it feels at 100% again, because right now I'd say we're about 95% of the way there through recovery, but when it's at 100, I tell you now, I'm not gonna push it to injury. You know me, I'm gonna keep my body as safe as I fucking can. But we're going to put this boy through hell. This knee's got to pick up the slack for the strain that it's been putting on my body, and I am pissed in a good way. I'm motivated. So we're going to go through the goddamn ringer and feel wonderful at the end of it. Front squats were awesome. Again, first time I've been able to put on some actual weight on my squats, because the whole thing that's been bugging me is coming out of the bottom of a squat was what was hurting the most. Like, not even hurting, my left knee was too weak to pick it up. You know, I wasn't confident enough. Like I say it all the time, you need core confidence just as much you need joint confidence, tendon confidence, bone confidence, whatever the fuck. Your bones, tendons, and joints and ligaments cannot grow as fast as your muscles. So you got to treat them with care and treat them like infant children. They are going to explode the moment you let them get away from you, you know? They're going to get it's a recipe for fucking disaster when you let your very sensitive joints and tendons and ligaments get out of hand. And don't even get me started on bone stuff. People don't realize you can have an abnormal bone growth anywhere. I got unlucky and got it on my hand. The recovery of that was not fun, I will tell you now. So just take it from me. Treat your body with some care, you know? But 275 on front squat for a pause set of 6, confidently might I add, strongly, almost easily. I was grinding it out, sure, but I was like, nothing held back. Like I told you the other day, I want to be able to squat and crush my knees as hard as I want with a smile on my face. And brother, if you saw the front view, I was loving life. I probably more than likely looked like I was shitting myself, let's be real, but felt wonderful, and that is what matters. And clean pulls, my clean pulls and my snatch pulls, as well as my squat variations, I wanted to go easy on and do pause reps so that I don't overdo it, because pushing off the floor still activates my quads and inevitably my knee tendon, because it's my quad tendon that was having some minor tendinopathy. But I put on some weight and it just kept going up, and I'm like, okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. 275 is about 70% of my front squat, so I was like, okay, let's do a pause set of 3, 70% on clean pull, see how it feels. Oh, it felt so fucking wonderful. I can't explain. Like, when I say we're back, I don't just mean that my knee's better or the lifts are a little bit more comfortable. Mentally, physically, personally, passionately, I'm back. You know, I'm always putting in 100%. Don't get me wrong. Seriously, like, I'm always trying to put in my passion every day and show you guys, like, that you can push through it. But this is the whole point that I've been driving every single fucking day, telling you guys that the past is for positive perspective on how you can do better, and the hope is for future. So right now, in the present time, you can't do shit other than putting in the work and doing your best. And there's just no thoughts, head empty, hope for the best, learn from your experiences that you've been through beforehand. That's all it is. There's no point for filling your head space with random negative what ifs. I could have gone in and put on some weight and be like, oh, like when I put on 275, I could have been like, oh, I haven't done this in a long time. It might hurt really bad. But then I got to think to myself, I'm like, okay, well, my knee might not feel this way tomorrow, but my knee feels wonderful now. That last set, I killed. I crushed, you know? So I've deserved the right to try to do some extra weight. And again, you just got to know when to put the weight down if you feel the need to. Like, you just got to know how to listen to your body. I wasn't going to force a set of 6 with pause reps if my body couldn't take it. But I'm not going to go in with that mentality. I'm going to go in with the mentality of I'm going to grind as hard as I can. And then, you know, on the low chance that for some reason it feels icky again and I feel like I can't do it, just drop it. There's no harm in dropping it. Just more fucking experience to put on my positive perspective train. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's wonderful. You know, I couldn't be happier. And what good karma to have right before I'm moving. It's such a fun ordeal that just, I tell you this every time, but when you just live in the present moment, trying to live life happily with a positive mindset every day, it just feels like life just throws the good shit at you, like it's free. Like, don't get me wrong, I know I worked for it. I'll give myself that credit. Because I've made it my standard to maintain passion and positivity. Oh, like, the fact that my knee's, like, healed now, it just feels like a cherry on top of the work that I've been doing for the past couple weeks. But I'm sorry for going off so hard. I know I've been edging you guys on long enough. Physically. Ooh. Now, don't get me wrong. Normally, physically, I like to kind of judge that based off of, like, 1, my mobility, 2, how springy I am, and 3, how confident I would be if I were to push some really heavy PR weight, even though I'm not doing that today. And so, like, when it comes to the mobility and the springiness, we're killing it. We're crushing it. The warm-ups may have felt a little sore, but again, my left knee is still weak. You know, I got to remind myself of that. I'm not at 100% by any means. Even if it's just 5% off of 100%, that's a big fucking 5%. I gotta make sure that my body fully evens out before I start the normal training program again, because I just don't want to overdo it. I don't want to get hurt again. You know, 2 injuries in the course of 6 months. I think you're doing way too much. You know, I just had 2 injuries back to back because they both happened at the same time. It was so unlucky. And again, now that I have that perspective, I know that I was training too hard for what my body standard is right now. Anyway, what's important is physically. I'll give it a 9.3 because I think that if my knee were at 100% and, like, the recovery was kind of speed running and I would have been able to feel like I could PR today, it would honestly be closer to like a 9.8. Like, insane how high it could have been. But again, I'm not rushing it. I gotta be real and learn from my experiences, even in just the past 2 weeks. Just because I feel wonderful today, I might wake up tomorrow and feel like hell. You know, I can't expect tomorrow to be a wonderful, perfect day like today. I just gotta hope for it to be the best day that I can make it with the effort that I have, with maximum intensity every single set, regardless of the weight that I put on the bar. Other than that, mentally, you know what? I know just because I said it, that just probably means it was on the top of my head. We'll give it a 9.8. Mentally, I feel fucking ecstatic. I'm not gonna lie to you. You can probably tell we're nearly 10 minutes into this shit, and I can't stop talking. I am a professional yapper at heart. We've talked about this, but dude, this is one of the days where I can't stop expressing it. Like, I say it every time. You just got to put one foot forward in front of the other. No expectations, just high as hope you can. Learn from what you've gone through, and it'll come. It'll come one day. You can't put a timestamp on it. And typically, when you choose to just let it roll and not put a timestamp on it, it comes quicker than you could have ever realized. You know, the moment you put expectation on it, you're going to be thinking that you got to be healed every single day, and and that's just not how it works. So I'm gonna ride this high as hard as I can ride it for today, enjoy myself, and then tomorrow we'll see how it feels. And that's just as simple as it's got to be. You know, I don't got to put any expectations on it and be like, I have to do 70% pause reps tomorrow no matter what. Like, no, it just, you know, that's the goal. But if it feels like shit, we're chilling out. I'll just take another deload week, whatever. But this is a sign that I'm getting better, and I can get better, and I know I will get better as long as I treat my body with care and learn from what I've gone through. So, what else? What can we talk about? I appreciate you guys. I appreciate my gym homies. I appreciate all the experiences I've gotten to go through. I'm coming to a close on this chapter in my life. It's so endearing and so, I feel so modest. You know, I love the fact that I can look back at the past 3 years that I've spent in Orlando, loving life, just doing the best I can. I've never been in such a good, positive spot, even though there's been so many random things happening all the time that could have dragged anyone down, including myself. But I've surrounded myself with positive people. I've given myself a positive outlet through you guys and this channel and the weights itself. Like, people don't realize, even though I'm recovering and I'm doing lightweight for weeks on end, trying to get my knee better, I couldn't be happier. I'm lifting, you know? It's not the weights. I say it so much. It's just a matter of getting myself in a position where I can have another goal, another passion, another love in my life that I can put my effort into at 100%, no matter how statistically no matter how much of an increase statistically I can make. You know, the numbers truly don't matter. It's just as long as you know you're making progress every day and you're doing good by yourself and loving the things that you do, who gives a shit about the fucking complexities of it? You know, the people who are going to warn you about 1,000 little things, I feel like it's going to just hold people back. You got to be willing to jump at the opportunity the moment your body gives you that chance, you know? Not to a point where you just let ego take over and then you get injured because you just weren't paying attention. Use the knowledge you've learned. Use the experiences that you're lucky enough to have gathered in such a short amount of time. You know, life is not long. In the estimated 80 to 90 years that people live, 90's honestly pushing it. There's just so many things that we can do to make such a short life feel nearly infinite. You know, I feel like the happiest people live life and they feel like they've lived 1,000 years. You know, I can't say that for a truth or anything. I don't fucking know. But again, I tell you guys all the time, take it with a grain of salt. This is just my own perspective. I love expressing these things because it's just that a new perspective is the intro gateway into a new passion, you know, a new way to grow and enjoy your personal everyday life without focusing so much on the suffering of it all. There's 1,000 things you could suffer with and cry about. I told my mom the other night because she was struggling a little bit, but I told her, for every negative thing you can come up with, I can give you 3 more positive ones, and that really hit her. She loved that. So anyway, I really gotta go. I got shit to do. I got a party going on tonight for my going away, but I appreciate you guys hanging out. Let me know how your lives been going, your life's been going, and I truly do appreciate all of you guys. You know, let me know just what's going on, and I'll be back. You know, I'm gonna keep doing my thing and loving life every step of the way. All right, I'll see you tomorrow for my squats and snatches. Bye-bye.